Haven't I YouTube? YouTube. Um, Today for this video, I just want to share a little bit about my transition from Babylon to Eden, from the Matrix to Eden, from the world to Zion, however anybody wants to term it. Pretty much the experience transitioning from a certain kind of culture into not a new one, but a more indigenous culture is a very heart strengthening and mind bending experience. Meaning mentally it requires or it challenges somebody, or challenges me, I would say, each moment to be more flexible. It challenges me to be, or to become more emotionally mature, more intelligent, emotionally intelligent, spiritually intelligent. Mainly because a lot of the things that we coming from the West, or that Western program, we're used to things being instantaneous. We like instant gratification. Things are more convenient. Things are more just readily available. Though when you live a lifestyle that is a lot more in tune, or a lot more in alignment with the land, it requires you to be more patient. It requires you to be more disciplined. It requires you to be more resilient. It just requires a lot more of you than it does when you live in a world where you don't really have to do much. Things are a lot easier in the West. Though this kind of life, living close, I guess when people say returning to nature and all of those things, the differences are it's vast. Living in the West is more, like I said, more convenient. It's more, I think convenient is the best word, really. Because everything is fast paced. You get done what you want. Everything is like, it's like a microwave. It's like a microwave. You're not gonna get something as soon as you want it. Though, let me be clear. It forces you. This is the clear way I can put it. It forces you to be more in tune, or to flow better with the flow of life itself. You may not get things like that, or you may. You just have to be flexible, and it does teach you detachment. It teaches you. I feel like I'm reiterating the same thing, but I think those are very, very interesting lessons that I've been learning myself. And for example, you have to go flow with the different seasons, and that's very vast. That's very it's layered. Meaning it could go with something as simple as food. In the West, you can get something like mangoes, avocados. You get all of these things that don't even grow in season there, but you're getting them all year round when they're not even there. They don't grow there. They're being imported, so that's already messing or tampering with the frequency or the energy or the information within the food, going against what you're supposed to be getting during that time. For in living in a place where you're more in alignment with the land, you have to eat what's available. You're not always going to get mangoes. You're not always going to get avocados. You're not always going to get watermelon. You're not always going to get certain foods or produce. You're not always going to get those things when you want it. So you just have to be resourceful and use or take advantage of what you have in front of you, which it really isn't hard to do. because a lot of things here grow in abundance, and it shows that you're never really in need or you're not in lack for anything. And like I said, this is it's layered because that goes not just with food, but with anything that you can possibly think of. Certain people is not going to be around you or in your life every single moment. But what are you going to do in that time? Are you going to try to like force something in that space when it's not supposed to be there? Are you going to try to force an energy that's not flowing properly in the moment or naturally? That's detrimental. Even if you think of something like money, you're not gonna always have like $1 or 20 or whatever amount. You're not always gonna have it in your pocket to spend. It's just readily available for you. But if you look around, are you gonna stress because you don't have $1 in your pocket, or are you gonna look around and see plants or different things that is there for you that you can take, that you can indulge in, that could sustain you in that moment? So it's just a matter of like being aware, being attentive, intentional. Transitioning from a farm to a garden is a lot different. Even on the farm, things is more commercial based. If you're in a garden, it doesn't work like that. Things aren't being mass produced for some type of commercial or capital gain. It doesn't work like that. You get it when you get it, and if you don't, you don't. But in the West, we kind of trained to, or we've cultivated this idea that no, I want it when I want it, and that's it. Life does not work like that. You might get it and you might not. So living this kind of life teaches you detachment, and it also teaches you or reminds you of detachment, reminds you of patience, reminds you of acceptance, all of these beautiful, beautiful values and traits, integrity, compassion, just allowing life to happen how it happens. I will say that living amongst the land exposes you to yourself. It shows you all of your weak points or blind spots. It shows you all of the strong places, the strong aspects of yourself that you can strengthen and utilize for your benefit, and also for the benefit of everything that's around you. And it even makes me think sometimes that a lot of people that are even here and even in other places don't really deserve what life has for us. A lot of us don't deserve it because we're ungrateful, we're impatient, we are inconsiderate, amongst other things. We are childish, immature, spiritually and emotionally unintelligent, emotional, overly logical, even just imbalanced all across the board. Just imbalanced, and we do things to destroy life. We do things to destroy ourselves, and then create even more things to undo the destruction, but while causing more destruction. It's just a never-ending cycle of death and destruction. And being where I am, you can just see a lot more. You can see a lot. You're a lot more sensitive. That's another thing. Transitioning from one state of mind to this one makes you more sensitive, makes you more aware and attentive of all of the different energy pockets that you could possibly go through. You could feel and even see the shifts in different energies and things around you, within, which is all one and the same. But you can just sense all of it. And on the flip side, on the good side, eating from the land specifically, like knowing exactly where your food comes from, seeing it fresh out of the dirt, is like tunes you more into the place where you are. It tunes you in more to actually really be one with that channel that you're on. You get the codes direct or life direct, you get the codes straight away. Which, that's a beautiful thing. That's something that we take for granted in the West. Like I said, that's not a convenient thing because you have to wait a certain amount of time for it to grow. You got to plant the seeds. If you're not patient, it just causes a lot of other problems. Versus in the West somewhere, you just buy a pack of noodles and pop them in the fridge. I mean, pop them in the microwave and they're done in like 3 minutes. Disgusting. Disgusting. Microwave babies. But I was gonna say a very interesting thing that I noticed while I was saying is that a lot of us don't deserve to live. A lot of us don't deserve to live close to life or close to nature, close to the land. We don't deserve life because you will hear people say things. People here think they live in poverty. We think we live in poverty, we think we live in lack when there is so much around that is just abundant. It's things that we don't even see, things that we can't put a name on, that we probably walk by every day that has so many minerals, so many nutrients, so much information and uplifting, empowering energy for you to intake or to indulge in, for you to consume. That we just walk by it, but we think we live in poverty. So, I pretty much was just saying how most of us, most humans in these days and times, we think that we live in poverty. We think that we're missing something. We think that we're lacking something. And pretty much the point is, because we think we lack so much, we think we need so much, we overlook the many things that are right in front of us. We can't even see the blessings that are right in front of us. We take things for granted. We take life for granted. And in that process, it's like we begin to create more things to overcompensate for what we think we lack. And something as simple as, like I'm sure you were hearing before, the many different sounds. Probably can still hear it a little bit now, the different noises and sounds that you hear when people do construction and developing and things like that. Because we're so disconnected from ourselves, we're so disconnected from life, from nature, from the earth, from the land, we don't see how trying to go outside of that to create something better would just being a detriment to ourselves and to the land that sustains us. We're trying to develop and build so much that it's literally destroying the earth. There's going to be a time where we're going to see that this money that we're chasing after, because we think that that's going to get us more things, more material, tangible things, it's not going to work anymore. It's not going to sustain anything. It's not sustainable. We're going to see that after a while, it's going to make sense why we can't breathe now. It's going to make sense why you can't breathe, because you chop down all your trees trying to develop everything. Trying to build your cities and trying to do all this stuff. So, there's a monkey here. I'm going to give the monkey something. Pumpkin seeds. Okay, so, yeah, what was I saying? See, life is beautiful. Life is really beautiful. Yeah, we take things like this for granted. Being able to commune with monkeys and different animals, different beings and species within nature. We take things like that for granted. We take our breath for granted, and we ruin everything that we touch. Modern humans, new humans, ruin everything that they touch. So, modern humans, most humans don't deserve life. Don't deserve it. Though, I understand why some people will look at me and think that whatever they think based on certain videos, when I hear certain comments on my videos, when I read the comments on under the recent videos that I've made, saying that you're ignorant, you're this, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't do your research and this and that. And I probably understand life based on where I grew up, where I come from, the upbringing that I had, and the environment that I was raised in, that I was exposed to. I may understand all of this way more than most of you who are commenting and coming at me. And I hope that you can just listen more to understand, listen to understand what I'm saying. And don't be offended. Just hear me out. Just hear what I'm saying. But those who can see will be shown more. Those who can hear will be told more. I'm not here for validation. I'm not here for acceptance. I'm not here for anybody to tolerate me, or you don't have to agree with me. It is what it is. My view of life and my view of myself, like I dwell in heaven. That's where I am. I dwell in heaven. So I see things for what it is. I see life everywhere around me, no matter where I am. But even with that sight, that insight, that in-look, I see death also. I see destruction. I see the fullness. I see the full picture, the entire picture. Do I condemn it? I don't condemn it because I know it's all happening for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, and I know that, and I accept it, and I trust it. So just because I speak against something, play your role. I'm going to play my role. Play your role. Everything is working for the will of the Most High. So it's very comical to receive some of the comments that I receive, though I'm not upset. It is what it is. I just wanted to share my experience and what I see and why I see things the way I see it, how I see things. Beautiful. So, if I upset anyone, it's not necessarily my intention. However, there's nothing I can do about it. These videos are to just allow life to speak. Allow life to speak. And even as life speaks to us every single day, but none of us can hear it because we're blind and we're deaf. Those are the things that I see. That's what my experience is like, how I see life, how my heart has opened up to so much, my sensitivity, my attentiveness, my observation. I observe a lot. So some people may come to so-called Africa and they may have a different experience based on how they're viewing and perceiving themselves, how they're perceiving life. It's different from mine. So, again, like, it is what it is. That's why I said I'm not in Africa. I dwell somewhere else in heaven. Those constructs don't exist to me. Capitalism and all of those things, they don't exist to me. I don't resonate with those ideas. The modern, I'm not even doing things according to the Gregorian calendar. I'm somewhere else. Literally. I don't dwell where most modern humans, where we have brought ourselves to. I'm returning and currently growing more and more into the fullness of who I am. Growing more and more into just an indigenous, sovereign person that encompasses the entire universe, like beyond anything that we could probably fathom. So, yeah, not to just make this long and drawn out, I am appreciative of everyone who has tuned into this channel, whether you agree with me or not. I pray for everyone. I send well wishes to everyone who's tuned into this channel. I send peace, love, more life, more abundance, wellness, health, prosperity, sovereignty, remembrance, love, and life. So, I'm about to go chill with my monkey, Tota friends, my family. Until next time. Alright, bye. Seagull.